Today, I'm talking about two different types of dark empaths and the differences and the ways that these empaths can heal their dark qualities. Hi, my name is Leah Chantel, and today I'm talking about two different types of dark empaths. The first type are anxiety-filled empaths, and the second type are avoidant empaths. So there are two different types of dark empaths, and dark empaths are empaths who haven't found their mission in life yet. They're still healing from the wounds that they've experienced through their troubled lifetimes that they may be experiencing in order to awaken their healing abilities. So the first type of dark empath are anxiety-filled empaths. So these are empaths that can feel very uncomfortable around crowded situations. Maybe they live in the rural setting if they can, but they're very uncomfortable in the city. They don't do well with crowds of people, and they don't do well in their relationships because they're constantly needing attention. They're constantly needing affirmation that they're loved, or that somebody's available to spend time with them, or that they're receiving gifts, or whatever their love language is. And if you've heard of love languages, I sort of feel mixed about them because I think they're kind of like excuses for people to ask for validation and attention. But if you're setting them with the intention to serve others and give them potentially what they need, maybe it's helpful. But these types of empaths are the ones who will study these things like love languages and demand that their love of their life give them the attention and validation that they deserve through this specific love language. And they're not really giving or being of service. They're rather taking from somebody else out of anxiety. And their anxiety drives them to continue to take from another person. And when this is healed, they become very amazing mediums. They can become amazing intuitives, and they really have the capacity to help heal other people with these dark tendencies and give them that validation, that confirmation that they need in order to heal their relationships. So it's an amazing empathetic quality when it's healed, but when it's not healed, these types of people will seek a lot of attention from others. They may either talk quite a bit, very loudly, or maybe they'll speak very quietly to get people to lean in. They're that type of person who needs constant reassurance, constant validation, and they're very scared of coming out and telling people who they are. They're very scared of being judged as being crazy or insane or something because they're coming out as an intuitive. When really, intuitive ability, when you understand what it is, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that dramatic, but people who are anxious will make it in their head as this big dramatic thing that they can't tell other people. And they really struggle in their relationships. They could have multiple divorces, or maybe they've never been married and they've constantly broken up with men and really struggled in their relationships. Or it could be with women. Sometimes gentlemen are like this with women too. They're very needy and needing a lot of compliments and attention from women in order for them to kind of come out and do things romantically for them. But having said that, in either way, the anxious empath needs to heal by discovering their true abilities. So a lot of them are great mediums, and they're really great at guiding other people and helping other people with this specific problem. So anxious people who are healed are really great at healing other anxious people. As for the other styles of dark empaths, it's a little bit tougher for them to kind of reach other anxiously inclined intuitives because they're so anxious that it's very difficult for them to hear the voice of another person trying to help them unless they really identify with this person as being a previously healed, anxious type of dark empath as well. So dark empaths with the anxiety style really help a lot of people because when they're healed, they can guide people to be really excited about their healing journey and help them see the benefits of having happy relationships and beautiful income and a lovely lifestyle. And so they do a lot of good in the world when they become healed. They really help society open up and open their minds to different styles of intuition and mediumship as well. And they're very good at communicating their message. In the same way that they're very anxious and they're very tense, when they use that energy to be of service, then they really put their message out there, and they're really great at marketing and touching people's lives and helping people. So it's an amazing thing. If you're an anxious kind of person, don't beat yourself up for being needy or struggling with your communication or being the one who texts first. Instead, figure out how to heal that and how you can help people who have the same problem. Because when you know how to help people who have that same problem, then it wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for naught. And you'll find a way to help people and become a healer in your community. So that's an amazing dark empathic quality. While it's not great when it's not healed, when it is healed, it does so much good for other people in the world. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have high anxiety and you're the type of person who's scared to leave the house, or you've been abused and struggled in your relationships, it's okay. That high level of anxiety can actually be your gift if you know how to use it effectively. The other type of intuitive, and I seem to veer this way as a dark empath when I wasn't healed, is to be the avoidant type of empath. That's the type of empath who knows that they have abilities, but they don't like to speak out, and they like to cover their identity by pretending that they're really smart or that there's something else other than intuitive and empathic. Maybe they're the type of person who went to school and got a lot of university degrees or became a lawyer or went to Harvard Law School. Or maybe they're the type of person who covered their intuitive abilities with a different kind of success. Maybe it wasn't academic, but they went and worked at a factory very hard from a really young age and worked their way up the ladder in that factory and started running the factory themselves, Or maybe they went to business school and now they're head of an organization and they're working 80 hours a week, but secretly they know that they have these intuitive abilities that they haven't been sharing with the world. So I've even seen some avoidant intuitive types work very high up in government in my country, where they're really, really good at sorting out the issues of the federal government and helping people in a very logical capacity, but they're just struggling inside, because inside that they're this intuitive, creative person, and that's not being manifested at all in their outer career. And so how can these intuitive types heal? We tend to be different in romantic relationships. We're the type that we don't really reach out that much in relationships. We wait for other people to reach out to us first. We need to learn actually how to communicate more. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to always be the one to reach out. Sometimes that doesn't fit or feel appropriate, but we need to learn to not be scared of other people reaching out to us, and that we can be open to our empathic abilities and open to relationships with others without being afraid or always needing to be by ourselves or need space. We are independent types. Avoidant empaths, we probably marry later in life. We're a little bit more, I don't want to say suspicious of people, but we're a little bit more discerning about who we want to marry. And so we're very careful with our lives in that regard. We're also very careful in who we let into our lives. We have a very small group of people who we really love and trust who are in our lives. And then even then, maybe with boundaries. We are also the type who are we'll put our accomplishments intellectually forward first before we necessarily put our intuitive abilities forward. And we're very shy and self-reserved and not willing to put ourselves out there. And so we don't market our businesses. We don't talk about our intuitive empathic abilities because we think it's safer to stay quiet. There are a lot of intuitives in the closet who are very, very quiet and don't want to talk about it, don't want to be loud, don't want to reveal their identity. A lot of us like that. And really, we have to learn to let in the positive influences of the world. We have to learn how to communicate in our own way and not be so avoidant of the world and be willing to open up. And that can be a slow process. Sometimes we have to build trust one day at a time, and we can't just do it all in one shot. We have to do it day by day by releasing a little bit of content each day and seeing how the world responds and learning to believe in ourselves and know that we're not going to be taken down by one negative comment. It's fine if somebody doesn't believe us or doesn't agree with us. It's just a day by day process to build trust and that we can have healthy relationships. But if we're always avoidant and we're always shut down, I mean, the studies say that people who go to church when they're older generally have longer and healthier lives, not because they're religious, but because they have healthy social connections. And so in the same way, if we're avoidant empaths and we cut ourselves off from the world, then we're less likely to have healthy relationships. We have to learn how to open up and have a healthy dialogue and a healthy discussion and express ourselves in a way that we feel comfortable with, and yet not overexpose ourselves or feel too frightened or too scared of our own vulnerability. I think there's a really healthy balance between avoidant and anxious, where you get vulnerability right and you share the right amount with other people. You don't want too little, you don't want too much, but you need to have the right healthy balance of vulnerability and asking for help and sharing with other people. And when you get it right, that's when you're a healed empath. That's when you have something to share with the world. I hope you enjoyed my talk today about anxious and avoidant empaths and how we can heal our tendencies and become fully empowered empaths here to serve the world. If you have any questions about the different types of dark empaths, including anxious or avoidant, definitely leave a comment below and ask your questions to see how you can move past the barriers that you're experiencing along your intuitive journey. Or if you've succeeded, you can celebrate and share that too. If you have any more questions, don't forget to look me up on Instagram. I'm also at Leah H. Chantel on Instagram and TikTok. You can look me up and send me a message there. And if you want to subscribe to this channel and you haven't yet, definitely hit subscribe. There are definitely some people out there who are watching who haven't subscribed yet, and I'd encourage you to subscribe, because this is probably the content that you need to hear in order to heal and live your most fully empowered life. I hope you're all having an amazing week, and take care. Bye now.